This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Los Angeles ahead of fight week here for Wilder Fury. I'm delighted to be joined by Travis Kauffman. Have I pronounced that right?
You pronounced it right.
Okay, because I hear your name being pronounced all different.
Many different ways, right?
Absolutely, but
it's not even supposed to be Kauffman, but it is.
Kauffman, and you can explain it well as in the cough, as in how you...
Man.
There you go.
That's how they made fun of me when I was a kid.
Absolutely. I thought you stole the show at the press conference today, Travis. Yeah, for a few different reasons. Obviously, we all know you're a very confident talker, and you had some strong words to say about various people, including Luis Ortiz today. So
my intent wasn't to go out there to try stealing the show. My intent was to say what was on my mind, and like I said, I respect anybody that hops in that ring. Anybody, because we all put our lives on the line. I made some statements about the PEDs, not just about Luis Ortiz, many fighters, because he's not running a race. It's not like he's sprinting to be the fastest sprinter. He's punching my head, and fighters aren't supposed to. Nobody naturally is supposed to get hit in the head. So when you're taking a PED to make you stronger, faster, to hit harder, when our life is already on the line, and Luis Ortiz is by far one of the most skilled heavyweights in the world, why do you need a PED to help you get that edge? He could deny that he hasn't used PEDs, but that's a proven fact.
You said in the press conference that it was more a dig at kind of the system ahead of Luis Ortiz. So how does that work then? Because obviously
it's not really the fact of I'm not mad at Luis Ortiz, because like me, if I go home and cheat on my fiance and she takes me back, and I cheat on her again and she takes me back, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep cheating. So a man, woman, whatever you are, is only going to do what the system allows you to do. So the boxing world, there's the commissions, everybody is so quote unquote against PEDs, but they don't penalize these guys enough. Luis Ortiz has been suspended, I think at the most was a year against Latif Coyote when he tested positive, no fine. Okay, he got tested positive. Tested positive again for the quote unquote high blood pressure. 4 months. 4 months later, he's fighting for a world title. He also tested positive when he fought Brian Jennings, but De La Hoya paid them off, so it wasn't publicized. I know facts behind that. There's proven facts that this guy has tested positive multiple times, and he's going to keep doing it unless. My thing is, what is the commission going to do? They're going to wait till somebody dies when someone else is on PEDs. Why wait to that point? I'm a clean fighter. I'm a fat ass. I'm fat. I don't. If I took PEDs and shot a needle in my ass, I might have abs and chiseled up. I might look like Lucas Brown or something. But I don't. I'm a fighter. I dig deep and I train hard. Unfortunately, genetics didn't help me have the best body. So, like I said, my thing is I'm just mad how the commission and the boxing world. They put PEDs in this category as they're so against it, but they're really not against it, because everybody who's tested positive for PEDs still get these shots at these world title fights, and that's my problem.
There seems to be one of the main problems in the US and also in the UK is a lack of consistency in terms of punishments.
Absolutely.
That doesn't seem to be a level playing field across the board, because every case is different, which is fair to a degree, but then does it come down to a case of who do you believe? Do you believe their story, or why is this guy's punishment more lenient than another guy's? Was because
there's money behind it. Politics. There's more politics in boxing than any other sport. There's a lot of money behind certain fighters, and they can't lose that money. For instance, you got guys, I don't want to say no names, but there's many fighters who have tested positive for multiple things. One time, I can understand you took something you might have not known. Let's use that as an excuse. You didn't know. Tested positive, suspended for 6 months, a year. You test positive again, you should be banned for life. That's my thing. Because here's the thing. If you ban someone for life, the likelihood of someone else using is going to be a lot smaller. Will they still use? Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody wants that edge. I want an edge, but I'm not going to stick a needle in my ass to get the edge.
So if it was down to you, 2-strike policy, second time you're out.
I think you should be out.
Yeah.
Because this isn't boxing's not something you play. You don't play. You play football. You play basketball. You play. You guys call it football, soccer. You don't play boxing. Boxing, our life is on the line. We could die. I have kids I gotta get home to. Luis Ortiz has kids he has to get home to. You know, this is a serious sport. Any fighter who takes punches without another fighter using PEDs over a long period of time, there's some type of brain damage. Very little, not much, but the chance of it being a lot more is higher when the opponent's taking PEDs.
Let's talk about Luis Ortiz. Widely regarded for many years as the avoided fighter, the fighter, the most dangerous fighter, the fighter no one wants to fight. Deontay Wilder has that name on his record now, and you're looking to have his name on your record now.
Well, Saturday will have his name on my record. There's no turning back from that, right? Luis Ortiz is feared by these quote unquote top heavyweights. Dillian Whyte being one of them. I like Dillian Whyte. But you can't call yourself a top heavyweight if you don't want to take fights. The problem with boxing has, over the years, it's become more of a business. But you can't blame the fighters for that. You have to blame the promoters, the managers, because us fighters, I haven't yet, and I will. But fighters make millions and millions of dollars. They make promoters millions and millions of dollars. Most fighters, me at least, and other fighters from my area come from the hood, the ghetto, poor area, poor city. Good fighters come from poorer cities. And we're not taught how to manage our money. So we make these promoters, these managers, millions and millions of dollars, yet after we're done, it's F you. Forget about you. You're nobody no more. Now, yes, it's not their fault why the fighters go broke. But in the meantime, I think there should be some type of policy after you're done to where the promoters, there's money being put to the side. Because at the end of the day, boxing is your own business, which is true, indeed, and you should be responsible for your own money. But if I made you $10 million, I think it's only right for you to not give me your money, but to help me with my money or help me along the way or teach me how to handle my money, especially when I come from the hood, a poor family where I don't know how to handle my money. When we come from the ghetto, if I got $100,000, most people from the ghetto want to take $90,000 and go buy a car. Cars depreciate in value. Nobody's ever taught to go buy a house, to stock that money and make it go up more. You know, is that the promoter's fault? No, it's not. When you got a guy who's making you millions of dollars, why not help him? So boxing has become a business over the years, which is why they're scared to fight a Luis Ortiz, because they're afraid to take an L. That W everybody desperately wants is tucked behind the L they're afraid to take. I'm not afraid of a loss. Do I want to take a loss? No, because boxing is one of those sports, you take a loss, oh, this guy's no good, forget about you. But you got to dare to be great. You got to challenge yourself. And Luis Ortiz being quote unquote the most feared man, I want to challenge myself, and that's why I accepted the challenge. As soon as I heard I got him, yes, hell yes, let's fight.
You've been pro for 10 years?
13 years in January.
13 years? You turned pro in what year?
2006.
Oh really? Okay. Why hasn't it happened for Travis yet?
I don't want to blame nobody. I have a father who's my quote-unquote promoter, my manager. I'm with Al Heyman. I want to fight. I want to. It comes a time, like I said, I don't want to blame nobody else. There's been times injuries has happened that prolonged me. I've had injuries that put me to the shelf for a year and a half, 19 months, 14 months. Out of 13 years being a pro, I've really only been pro about 9 years active about 9 years, because there's been about 4-year layoffs with personal issues, a lot of depression. I've dealt with the same thing Tyson Fury has dealt with, depression, big time. But I never use that as an excuse. I learned to bounce back. Coming from where I come from, and that's why I love boxing, because at 18 years old, I caught a felony for selling weed. Weed is legal now everywhere, pretty much. But in life, if you have a felony, the quote-unquote world, the blue-collar world, the white-collar world wipes you off. You got to find a way to bounce back from that. Boxing's the same way. You got a loss, people wipe you off. You got to find a way to bounce back from that. So it hasn't happened for me, not because of, I wouldn't say just because of my doing. There's been times where I haven't been in the gym all the time. I haven't been consistent with staying in the gym. Nazim gets on my case all the time. Got to be in the gym, soldier. Got to be in the gym. You say you want this, you got to prove you want this. So there's been times with, like since the Areola fight, I beat the crap out of Ariola. Judges didn't see it that way. Stevie Wonder called me and seen it that way. How he seen it that way, I don't know, but he did because he was blind. But I beat Ariola and they gave him the fight. But I don't dwell on the past. I moved forward, but I was promised a bigger fight. I didn't fight again for a year later. So now I'm like, what's going on? So the fight's always been in me. I love the fight. I love fighting, which is why I took this fight. It's quote unquote dangerous fight. Every fight at this level is dangerous and chance. You gotta live by chance. But I've been fighting once a year, not because of me. I want to fight, but I'm training. Nothing's happening. I'm a single father of 3 boys. That's unheard of in boxing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a single father, but I don't sit there and promote that to try looking for sympathy. I don't want sympathy. Nobody told me to go lay up with their mother and have 3 kids and then take care of them. Nobody told me to do that. That was my doing. So I don't sit there and, Al Heyman, I have 3 kids. Please let me get a fight. Or Dad, you're my promoter. Give me a fight. I got these 3 kids. No, that's my fault for having these kids. I chose my pull-out game was very weak, which is why I have another kid on the way. But it's been, before I got back with Al Heyman, I was with Al Heyman in 2008 and 2009. I lost to Tony Grano. We kind of parted ways. Got bad promotional business with other promoters. Bad. They had me fighting once a year, twice a year, whatever it was. So when in boxing, if you're not active, you're forgotten about. And that's what has happened. I'm fortunate where I'm only 33 years old. I'm not an old heavyweight. I'm still very young in this sport. So that's why a lot of people don't know who Travis Kauffman is, because I haven't been the most active. I'm fighting once a year, and that's what it is.
Just coming back to Tyson Fury, had Tyson Fury gone a different promotional route, you could have faced him, I believe, in the summer.
That would have been great.
That was the plan. We've heard from Eddie Hearn from Matchroom. We've heard from Tyson Fury. He said that Tyson Fury's opponent for his return
First fight back
was supposedly meant to be you.
Well, for Tyson Fury, it's a good thing he didn't go with Eddie Hearn, because he would have been fighting me first, and he wouldn't have been having a Wilder fight today. But I'm a fan of Tyson Fury. When all that thing was going on with his depression, because I understand depression big time. I reached out. I know he knows of me, but he don't know me on a personal level. I reached out and sent his family a tweet, send him my regards, because I understand depression very strongly. I've been diagnosed with depression since I was 10 years old. I've dealt with addictions. I understand I understand when life gets hard. So him not fighting me is good, because now he's gotten this big opportunity, and good for him. I'm happy for him that he's having this opportunity, and he has a family to raise, and who wouldn't want to fight with Wilder? Number one is for the heavyweight title of the world. This is the true championship. I'm not fighting Joshua. Joshua got all the belts. Joshua's a great fighter, but I don't think Joshua really wants to fight Wilder, in my opinion. Maybe he does, but it's only hearsay. I would have loved to fight Tyson Fury. I would love for that opportunity, but right now it's Luis Ortiz.
Tyson Fury has been much publicised, being out the ring for so long, and it's kind of coming back. A lot of people suggest that this fight had come too soon for him, but we're 2 days away from the fight. The fight's happening, so the opportunity came for Fury now. And you wait and wait and wait. Sometimes those opportunities pass you by. So he's taking it. He seems confident. He seems ready. How did you see the fight going this week?
Well, one thing we know about Tyson Fury is very confident. Always been, since the beginning of time. I like Tyson Fury a lot. I'm cheering for him, because more so because of the story. Because I've been in that situation, the exact same situation, where I wanted to end my life. Thank God I didn't. I have 3 boys that I love to death, and I'm all they got. So for him, I'm really, really rooting for him. I think the layoff hurt him, but to me it's like, boxing is like riding a bike. When you know it, you know it. He's very talented, but one thing you can never take away from Wilder is he can crack like nobody else. Like nobody else. The only way Tyson Fury wins, and I can see him winning, it's going to be a hard way to do it, to be able to move all 12 rounds and stay away from the right hand. 40 people have not stayed away from the right hand yet. Will Tyson Fury be it? We have yet to see, and we'll find that out Saturday night.
Have you sparred Wilder, Travis?
No, never
sparred him.
I would love to.
Yeah. It's a real heavyweight theme to the bill this week. Obviously, Joe Joyce is on the bill as well, fighting Hanks, and obviously yourself and Lewis. And yeah,
it's a great card to be on. I think heavyweight's a good time right now. A lot of people don't like the heavyweight division right now. It's not the Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfields. Because when you're growing up, you see these guys, you idolize these guys, but kids that are young idolize these guys now. So it's the same thing, just a different era. There was greats then, but there's greats now. I think right now is a good time to be a heavyweight, and I'm excited to be on this card, and I'm excited to show what I have.
How do you assess our UK heavyweight scene?
I think I love the UK fans. They support their people, 1,000%. You have fighters who, in my opinion, are good but not the greatest. Derek Chisora, I don't think is that great, but they huge fan base. Makes great money because of his fan base. Unfortunately, in the U.S., they don't back all their fighters. They're like I seen a video today. It was kind of funny. That's why I'm a fan of Tyson Fury as a person and as a fighter, but really as a person, I like following him. I went outside asking people in the U.S., do you know who Deontay Wilder is?
That was my video.
That was your.
I was the one following him around.
I watched him, and everybody was like, no. So you go over to England, everybody knows Tyson Fury, and that's just how it is. They support their own people. Not just England. Poland does that, and other countries do that. But the UK, I think, is great. You have Joe Joyce, who's coming up. You have Derek Chisora and Dylan White, who are fighting the 22nd. Tyson Fury, AJ, who's phenomenal. I'm a fan of AJ as well. I don't want to say I'm a diehard fan. I'm not a fan of any heavyweight. I'm the number one fan. I'm a fan of myself, but I like watching those guys. But I think it's great. I think UK boxing is good. I would love to see more UK and USA fighters fighting each other instead of keeping it in the UK or keeping it in the US.
Have you come across the White Rhino, Dave Allen?
I've never fought him. I've seen him fight.
I was just saying, have you come across him? Have you seen him? He fought Luis Ortiz.
I've seen him fight Luis Ortiz. I don't think much of David Allen. That fight, he was 20 pounds heavier than his prior fight. I don't think he's probably a knucklehead, and I'm sure I'm a knucklehead too. Probably didn't train for the fight, but he won 7 rounds with Luis Ortiz. So what does that say about either David Allen or what does that say about Luis Ortiz? But that's hindsight. That's behind me.
Yeah.
I think I haven't watched a lot of David Allen, but I know he lost to the kid from Florida. What's his name? Lenroy Thomas. Twice he lost to him.
One was a no contest.
Oh, one was was it? Okay.
Yeah, the second fight was a no contest. The first fight he lost for the Commonwealth title.
Okay, and he's just one of those guys who don't train all the time. I believe. I don't know from what I heard, but the problem with the USA or UK, they don't show enough UK fights in the US. We have Fire Sticks over here, and we have to watch them on Fire Stick on BBC Sports. So that's the only way we get to watch it. So I don't get to watch a lot of the UK fighters unless it's a big fight on Showtime or HBO or pay-per-view, and that's really the only time I get to watch it, or YouTube.
Yeah.
So
a win this weekend over Luis Ortiz really kind of then puts you in the mix for everything.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is my time, and it really is. When I fought Areola, I had him out in the 3rd round. He was done. In my mind, because it was my first 12 rounder, they told me I was fighting a 12 rounder that day. I didn't know I was fighting. I was supposed to fight a 10 rounder that day or the day before. I forget when it was. Night before. Night before they call and say, "Hey, let's make it a 12 rounder." Okay, whatever, let's fight. My thinking was when I knocked him down in the 3rd round, I told them after the fight, I said, the only thing that popped in my head is Areola's been in this position before. He's been down. I didn't want to jump on him and exert myself because he's been in that position. Had I known what I know now, what do I got to lose? Take out, go for the kill, and I didn't. And even though I thought I won 8 rounds to 4 with the knockdown, I still feel like I got robbed, and I don't live behind me. It's behind me, but that's something I've learned from that fight. If I have somebody hurt, I need to finish them. And Saturday night, if and when I have Luis Ortiz hurt, I will finish him.
Weighing tomorrow, and then Saturday night it's on.
Showtime, baby. My time.
My time.
My time.
Where did that come from?
It's funny. Years ago, my name used to be GW Hope, Great White Hope. I never called myself Great White Hope. It was always GW Hope. A friend of mine who actually lives with me, he's one of my good friends, a black dude named me, oh, your name's G-Dub. I said, what the fuck is G-Dub? He said, GW Hope. I said, oh, shit, I like that. But all the negative feedback I got from it. And before I started working with Nazim said to me, and I was already in the process, I remember talking to my dad, I already said, I'm thinking about changing my name because all the negative feedback I got from it. After talking to Nazim says to me, he goes, it's the history behind the name of why you're getting the negative feedback.
Yeah.
And I didn't think into that much. My mom's black. I got a black brother. I'm not racist. All my family's black. I come from the hood. You know, I got a biracial son that's about to be born. So, but to me, I didn't look at it as a racist. I just looked at it as it's a name. I love it. It was catchy. Travis G.W. Hope Kauffman. Everybody still hopes for that great white hope. And the last quote-unquote great white hope was Jerry Cooney.
Who's been around this week, yeah?
And he was around, yes.
Yeah.
So that was the name. And then before I started working with Nazim, I was already talking to my dad, I want to change the name. I want to change the name just because of the negative feedback. And I said, I'm going to change it. And I started reaching out in social media just to come up with different names, different ideas. And a friend of mine, this guy named Jerry Moyer, he said, my time. I said, damn, that's catchy. He was just thinking about it. Right now is your time. He goes, tomorrow is your time. Next week is your time. So no matter when it is, it's your time. So I stuck with the name. And Nazim probably would kick my ass if I would stay with GW Hope.
So you had to change it, yeah. Travis, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. It's not that late here, but I'm sure you had better things to do today.
Just hop up in bed, rest my legs, and get ready for Saturday.
Like I said, I thought that was Luis Ortiz behind you, but it's not. It's someone else.
That's because the boogeyman's up in his room looking under his bed looking for me.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend, and hopefully we'll catch up with you after your fight
Yes.
on Saturday.
Yes, absolutely, you will.
Thank you
With
very
the
much.
victory.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.